Jake, this is highway robbery. I'm a woman on a fixed income. $50 is as high as I'll go. Okay, I'm desperate. You got a deal. 60. Oh, good news, Dorothy. I got your date for the banquet.
Ma, I'll get my own date.
Fine, pay 100.
Here, help me finish these invitations.
Hi, girls. Boy, am I stuffed. I must have sampled food from over 10 caterers.
Did you find one for the banquet?
Not yet. Oh, but I did learn that baked Alaska can actually be cooked locally.
Rose, I have an even bigger scoop for you. Mars bars are made right here on Earth.
Oh, girls, this time I have really done it. Thanks to me, the hospital charity banquet is going to be held in the Versailles room of the Bedford Hotel.
Blanche, the committee is on a budget.
I know it, but don't worry. I worked out a special deal.
But we can't afford that room.
I know it, but don't worry. I worked out a special deal. I told the manager if he'd let us have that room, I would persuade my sister to sing for free in his piano bar.
You mean your sister Virginia?
No, I mean my sister, Miss Susan Anton.
Blanche, how could you tell such a lie?
He didn't believe me for a minute. He told me I was much too attractive to be related to her. But he gave us the room anyhow because he said he liked my moxie.
And I bet you liked showing it to him.
Well, we have a place. Now all we need is a caterer.
I have one dropping by this afternoon.
Blanche, did you hire the band?
Rose is supposed to do that.
Well, I warn you, we may end up with a Hans Geflugenhaben yodeling quartet.
That's not true. They broke up. But the Sonja von Kugel Tuba band is free.
Hi, I'm Jake Smallens from VIP Catering.
Hello, I'm Rose Nyland from St. Olaf, Minnesota. These are my friends. This is Dorothy, and this is
Blanche Devereaux. I am chairman of the planning committee. So, Mr. Smallens, could you tell us a little something about your background?
Well, I've been running VIP Catering for 5 years. Before that, I was a cook in the Navy for 25 years. I can cook chipped beef for 1,500 or Chateaubriand for 2.
No, Mr. Smallens, what I meant was, are you married?
No, I'm not. And please, call me Jake.
My pleasure.
I once had an Uncle Jake. Of course, he could never cook. He also could never get through our family 4th of July picnic without unzipping his overalls.
Too bad your uncle can't make it to the banquet. So, tell me, Jake, how much do you think these meals will cost?
Well, that depends. You want something simple or fancy?
We want something cheap.
I admire your honesty.
I admire your chest. I mean, exactly what kind of meal are we talking about?
I could do a nice Yankee pot roast, mashed potatoes, mixed vegetables, wild green salad, and for starters, I'll throw in my special clam chowder, no charge.
That sounds delicious. Just consider yourself hired. Now, Jake, when shall I come over to your place to sample what you have to offer?
I got a better idea. There's a romantic little diner down on the boardwalk. They use a lot of my recipes. Why don't I pick you up around 8 tomorrow night and we'll go check out a few things.
I thought you'd never ask.
Swell. I'll see you tomorrow night.
Okay.
Nice meeting you, ladies.
Nice meeting you.
It was our pleasure. Wow, what a hunk.
I know. Eat your hearts out.
Blanche, did it ever occur to you that possibly Rose or I might be interested in Jake?
Yes.
And you still used every cheap ploy to nab him before we had a chance?
Yeah.
Then what do you have to say for yourself?
Damn, I'm good.
Well, what do you think? Isn't this romantic?
Oh, yes, it certainly is. If you happen to be Popeye.
Hiya, Jake. What can I do for you?
We like the best table in the house.
You got it, buddy.
Oh, this is great. Thanks. And we'll have the usual.
All right.
Are you sure this is the best table in the house?
Did you get a splinter when you sat down?
No.
Then this is the best table in the house.
You're pulling my leg.
No, but I'd like to.
Stop being naughty.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean that.
Neither did I. Be naughty again.
Blanche, you are one hell of a woman.
I know. Go on.
Well, I've been just about everywhere there is, but in all my years in the Navy, I've never met anybody like you.
Yeah, well, in all my years dating the Navy, I never met anybody like you. Jake, is it my imagination or is there a tattoo in the shape of a nose on your arm?
Yeah. I got that when I first joined the Navy back in '51. I was just a kid. I was drunk out of my mind. Unfortunately, so was the guy who gave me the tattoo. I asked for a rose. He thought I said a nose.
Oh,
Thanks. Oh, Blanche. I really like being out with you.
I really like being out with you, too. This looks delicious.
Oh, wait a minute. Before you eat that clam chowder, there's just one thing.
What?
It tastes better if your lips are warmed up first.
I'm beginning to see why this place is so romantic.
Thank you. And now for my next number, I'd like to play something by one of my favorites, and I hope one of yours. Huey Lewis and the News!
I think we've heard enough, Mr. Hinckley.
Okay, we go right to the big finale.
I'm afraid we've run out of time.
But it's a guaranteed showstopper. I hold up 2 lit sparklers with my hands, and I play Hey, Look Me Over with my feet.
While smoking a cigarette?
No.
Oh, darn, you were this close. Goodbye.
Oh, Dorothy, we're in trouble. We've auditioned a dozen musicians. The banquet is less than 2 weeks away, and we still don't have a band. What are we going to do?
I'll tell you what we're going to do, Rose. We're going to eat a cheesecake. Hi, Ma. Shouldn't you be finishing those invitations?
Just here for a glass of water. The snap licking dries me out.
Why don't you use a sponge?
I feel more comfortable drinking out of a glass.
Blanche, don't you and Jake have dinner reservations for tonight?
Yes, we do. He's late.
Well, I'm sure he has a good reason. And even if he hasn't, who cares? He is a dreamboat.
You know, girls, these last few weeks with Jake have been wonderful, but there's some things about him I cannot get used to.
Really? Like what?
Well, it's a question of breeding. He uses his fingers instead of his knife to push his food. He tucks his napkin into his collar. He wears white after Labor Day.
Blanche, the man is a winner. What's the matter with you?
I don't know. Maybe I'm just overly critical. That sometimes happens when you're stunningly beautiful.
Not to mention endlessly irritating.
Blanche, Jake's here. Make yourself at home and don't touch anything.
Hi, everybody.
You are filthy!
I'm sorry, honey. I stopped to help a lady who was stranded on the side of the road, and I ended up fixing her transmission.
Are there people who do that for a living?
Andy Granatelli does. Although he doesn't actually fix them himself. I guess he doesn't want to get his trench coat dirty. But I hear he has this special school in Wisconsin. I know. Shut up, Rose.
Please, honey, don't be mad. I'll make it up to you, I promise you. What do you say I'll pack a picnic basket and we'll drive down to the beach? I'll spread a blanket on the sand, underneath the stars. I'll take you in my arms.
I forgive you. I mean, Blanche should forgive you.
Oh, all right. I forgive you, but forget the picnic. I'll get us that blanket.
He's a wonderful man.
Oh, I know. Oh, why can't I ever attract men like that?
You can, Dorothy.
Oh, Ma, you really think so?
Of course not, but you think I'm going to tell you that? I'm your mother.
Ma, are you sure you mailed all the invitations? None of the G's through the L's has responded.
Of course I did. They were in the shoebox I took to the post office last week. Unless
What?
I sent my best pair of heels overnight mail.
Ma, this is terrible!
You're telling me now I don't have shoes for the party.
Girls, I am so excited we have a band.
Oh, you hired somebody?
Yup, the Great Pretenders. It's an all-female jazz band. They're supposed to be fantastic. Well, now it's going to be a good party. Oh, it's too bad you couldn't find a better date than Harvey.
Well, I certainly wouldn't brag about my date if I were you. Incidentally, is Walter renting that blue tuxedo again?
Walter never rented a blue tuxedo, and you know it. He owns that blue tuxedo.
Girls, did Jake call? He is half an hour late.
No, Blanche.
Is Jake going to be able to take you to the banquet, or will he have to work catering the affair?
Well, he might be able to take me, but my date for the evening is Hunter McCoy.
But what about Jake?
What about him?
Well, Jake has to take you to the benefit. I mean, you'll be there, he'll be there. He'll expect you to be there with him. How could you do this?
Well, Rose, you make it sound so terrible. It's not. Jake just doesn't belong with certain people. He's a blue jeans kind of guy. This is a black tie affair. We wouldn't have any fun.
Blanche, sometimes you act just like a woman I knew in St. Olaf.
Please, no one say what woman.
Blanche, Jake is crazy about you. You'll break his heart.
Honey, don't be silly. Jake knows I care for him, but our relationship can only go so far. Now, he knows that as well as I do. That's probably him. Hi, honey.
Hi, sweetheart. Hello, everybody. Is there somewhere we could be alone?
Well, can't it wait till after dinner?
No.
All right, I'm flexible. But of course, you know that already.
No. I want to ask you something now. Right here, where we first met.
Ma, Rose, why don't we go into the kitchen?
What, miss all this?
Get up.
Jake, listen. I know what you want to ask me now. Now, I've been giving our relationship a great deal of thought lately, and I just think you're a wonderful man. I really do, and I love all the time we spend together. But we do come from two different worlds, you know. So our relationship can only go so far. And that's why I can't go to the banquet with you.
Well, that's not what I was going to ask you, but you answered my question anyway.
Why? I don't understand.
I was going to ask you to marry me.
Rose, what are you doing up?
I can't sleep. I keep having nightmares about the banquet.
Oh, what kind of nightmares?
I'm at the banquet. It looks beautiful. I look beautiful. Everybody looks beautiful. Suddenly, Charlton Heston walks in dressed like Moses. And he tries to part the dessert table. And when that doesn't work, he rounds up all the guests and leads them to the lingerie department of the nearest J.C. Penney's, where everybody starts making fun of the fat lady underwear. What do you suppose it means?
That you spent too many years sleeping on curlers. Ma, you can't sleep either?
No, I'm sleeping so good I thought I'd come try it in the sink.
I guess everybody's a little jumpy about the banquet.
Yeah, except Blanche. You know, she could at least have the good taste to pretend that she can't sleep.
Well, she's probably nervous about running into Jake. You know, sometimes when people are under pressure, they sleep to escape.
Dorothy's father used to do that. Unfortunately, it was usually during foreplay.
Ma, the man is dead.
Longer than you think.
I feel bad for Blanche. She's done nothing but mope around this house since she and Jake broke up.
No, don't expect me to feel sorry for her. I mean, it's not very often that somebody as special as Jake comes along and she throws him away.
What's everybody doing up?
Well, we were just talking about how dumb you were to give up Jake.
I'm still so upset about it, I can't sleep.
Well, then why don't you give him a call?
Oh, honey, I can't do that. He just tried to persuade me to see him again. That's out of the question.
I don't understand what's wrong with Jake. I think he's wonderful. And you're miserable without him.
Well, that may be, but in some ways, in some very important ways, we're just not compatible.
You mean he's not good enough for you?
No, I
Blanche.
don't. No, I don't. I mean, if we were to stay together, eventually our differences would turn us against each other. And I care too much for him to let that happen.
You're lucky you have a choice. My marriage was arranged. I had no say in the matter.
You mean you didn't pick Pop?
He didn't pick me either. We learned to love each other, thank God, but it wasn't our idea. There were 8 unmarried girls and 8 unmarried boys in the village that spring.
How'd they decide who went with who?
Height. If I hadn't stood on that rock, I'd have ended up with Luigi the pig boy.
If I ever got a chance at a second Mr. Right, I'd want somebody entirely different from Charlie.
But I thought you were crazy about him.
I am. I mean, we had a wonderful life together. But I'd like somebody really wild. Somebody impulsive who'd sweep me off my feet. He'd pick me up in his convertible Porsche and whisk me to the airport, and we'd fly to his villa in the south of France, where we'd blindfold the orchestra and dance until dawn. And then we'd watch the sun come up over 2 steaming cups of cocoa.
Cocoa?
With little marshmallows.
Marshmallows, Rose, you trollop.
Dorothy, what kind of guy would you like the second time around?
Somebody to get old with.
Oh, you can do that by yourself.
I'm aware of that, Rose. Stan didn't want to get old. No, I'd like someone to sit on the porch with, hold hands, listen to the birds, watch the grass grow.
Blanche, what kind of man are you looking for?
I don't know.
You certainly do your share of comparison shopping.
Come on, Blanche, what are you looking for?
I don't know. I just know it's not Jake. But I'm not going to let that discourage me from finding my Mr. Right, and I'm not going to compromise my standards either. I am simply going to look high and low, far and wide, and never lose heart, for I know one day my prince will come.
Now, what was that supposed to mean?
I wasn't paying close attention, but from what I could make of it, she's gonna sleep with that little black-eyed prince.
Rose, can I speak to you for a moment?
Oh, sure, Dorothy, excuse me.
Rose, there was something very odd about that all-female jazz band.
What?
They're all men.
I just thought they were really ugly women. What are we going to do?
Nothing. They sound great. If we pretend that nothing is wrong, maybe no one will notice.
Hey, did you get a load of those queens on the bandstand?
Keep your voice down.
What for? You think they don't know they're queens?
Girls, I think we're a success.
Congratulations, Blanche.
I think much of the credit goes to the food. It's original, yet familiar, piquant, yet comforting. Blanche tells me she worked very closely with the caterer.
Did she tell you they were naked most of the time?
You'll have to excuse my mother. She was a witness to the Hindenburg disaster.
I do think Jake did a wonderful job. Where is he, by the way?
Oh, I don't know. Probably out in the kitchen.
There he is, over by the dessert table.
Oh, he looks great in his tux.
Hunter, would you be a dear and get me another wine spritzer?
Of course.
Girls, I want you to do me a great big favor.
What is it?
I want you to keep Hunter occupied while I go after Jake.
Go after Jake. 12 hours ago, you said you never wanted to see him again.
I made a mistake. A terrible, terrible mistake. What could I have been thinking of? How could I have let him go? What difference does it make how he dresses or how he eats? What matters is he's a man I love.
Excuse me. Where's Blanche going?
She went to powder her nose.
At the dessert table?
Well, the powder sticks better if you put a thin layer of caramel first.
Hunter, you look skeptical.
Well, hello. I didn't see you standing there.
Really? I haven't been able to take my eyes off you all evening. You look great, Blanche.
Jake, the reason I came over here, I wanted to tell you I made a mistake. I was wrong. Our differences don't really matter.
Blanche, I admire you. You're a very special woman. But you didn't make a mistake. You were right. Blanche, I'm happy. I like myself. I want to share my life with somebody, but I want to share it with somebody who's as comfortable with me as I am with them. I don't want to go through life wondering if my tie's too loud or I'm using the wrong fork at dinner. I know. Tonight you said our differences don't matter. But they did before. And they will again. Blanche, knowing you has been one of the best things that's ever happened to me in my whole life. Remember that.
Jake.
Blanche. Goodbye, Blanche.
Blanche, what happened?
Well, Jake said that he thinks we'll have too many differences, so we're not going to get back together after all.
Oh, Blanche, I'm so sorry.
I don't understand how I let this thing happen. I'm so confused.
Honey, you think you're confused? Take a look at our horn section.
Blanche, aren't you even going to try to sleep?
I'm too upset. Oh, Dorothy, let's face it. I'm not 16 anymore. There's no longer a line of beaux out on the front porch waiting to ask Daddy if they can walk me to town. No more cotillions, no more sorority parties. I just lost the best thing that's happened to me since I met George. I'm just a stupid old fool, sitting up all night with a broken heart.
My Blanche Devereaux, I cannot believe what I am hearing. You are the prettiest, most vibrant, most exciting woman I know. Men still line up for you.
Really?
Your dance card is going to be full for the rest of your life, and you know it.
I don't know whether you meant that or not, Dorothy, but thank you.
Damn, I'm good.
More snacks like that, and the only thing you'll be able to fit into is a saddle.
I'm not going to eat all of this at once, Sophia. There's an I Love Lucy marathon on tonight. I'm setting up for 12 straight hours of classic TV.
I never cared for that show. Every single episode, Lucy said the same thing. Ricky, why can't I be in the show? Ricky, why can't I be in the show? Why couldn't she be in the show? Lou was a riot at home. His show at the club stank. What's so entertaining about a Cuban beating a drum?
Rose, there's an I Love Lucy marathon on tonight. You want to stay up and watch it with me?
That sounds great. Who's in it?
Who's in it? Oh, Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz and the Ricardos, the Mertzes. Oh, don't tell me you never saw I Love Lucy.
No. I never watched much TV till I moved in here. I mean, Charlie and I never even had a television. We talked about getting one, but Charlie said it wasn't perfected yet.
Sounds like to me old Charlie was a little on the cheap side.
I'll say. Oh, Charlie was a wonderful man, but he could squeeze a nickel till the buffalo pooped.
Boy, I'll tell you, there's something to the power of suggestion. Excuse me.
Dorothy, would you like to stay up all night with Blanche and me and watch I Like Lucy?
I love Lucy.
Well, I haven't seen it yet, so I don't know how I feel about it.
No, I'm not going to have the time with my daughter coming tonight. We're going to spend all our time talking about the... Nothing.
What, the nothing? What's the nothing?
The nothing is a nothing. I mean, if it were something, I'd call it something. Besides, there are more important things to talk about. Is that remarky?
Dorothy, you're keeping a secret from us. I can't believe it. I tell you everything. I told you a secret last night.
What, that you're not a natural blonde?
I am a natural blonde.
Right, Rose. You and Tina Turner.
Did Dorothy tell you she's going to be a grandma?
Aw, that was a secret.
Oh, Dorothy, that's wonderful. Why didn't you tell us?
Because we're not 100% sure. I didn't talk to Kate. Ma did.
I'm not an idiot. I know what I heard. She said she had some news she wanted to tell us in person, and then she had to throw up. Call me Kreskin.
No, I do know that she and Dennis have been trying to have children.
Oh, Dorothy, this is so exciting.
Yeah, but honey, we're not sure yet. Oh, Oh, that's Kate. Oh, I am so nervous all of a sudden. Of course, I'm also very excited. I mean, I have dreamed about this moment all my life. Oh, honey.
Darling.
Is it my imagination, or was that my ex-husband, Stanley?
Dorothy, it's me, your ex-husband, Stan.
Excuse me. With that new toupee, I thought you were Ted Danson.
I just got it today. It hasn't had time to settle. Oh, wow. Is that Rumaki?
Stanley, what are you doing here?
I just came to see Kate.
Oh, she hasn't gotten here yet.
How did you know that she was coming?
Well, she left me a message on my machine. I was out of town, Lauderdale.
Oh, of course. I forgot. It's spring break.
Well, do you know why she's coming?
No, I don't.
Look at Dorothy's nose
Oh,
grow.
shut up.
He's her father. The Yutz has a right to know.
What does the Yutz have a right to know?
We're not sure, but we think that Kate may be pregnant.
Wow. That's incredible. That makes me...
Yutz, some things never change.
You're going to be a granddaddy, Stanley.
Wow. Isn't life a gas?
This is amazing. Excuse me again.
I can't believe it. I am going to be a grandfather. Think about it. Part of me is going to be passed on to that child.
Well, I'm sure we'll learn to love it anyway.
Mom!
Honey! Oh!
Hello, princess.
Daddy. Oh, honey, so good to see you again.
You look wonderful.
I guess you have some pretty big news for us, huh, Kate?
Rose, I don't give them their privacy.
Oh, you don't have to go. The two of you are like family. I can say this in front of you.
I knew it. I knew it. I just knew it. Oh, Stanley, I'm so happy.
Dennis had an affair and I've left him.
Dan, take your damn hands off me!
I'll be honest with you, Kate, I never liked him. From the moment that worm slithered into your life, I knew he was no good. What kind of a man has so little respect for the institution of marriage that he can cheat on a wonderful woman and jump into bed with the first available bimbo who comes along?
But enough about you, Stan. Let's talk about Kate's problems.
We had no problems, Mom. That's why this was all such a shock.
Not even in bed?
Oh, Stanley.
Hey, I'm just trying to help. The fact is, the reason most men cheat on their wives is because what they have under the sheets at home is less than satisfying.
Oh, really, Mr. 30 Seconds?
Mom, Dad.
I'm sorry, sweetheart. We're both being very insensitive.
How are you feeling, kitten?
Fine, Grandma.
You're full of it, but that's okay. A brave front is the first step back. I think Bertrand Russell said that. Or was it Nipsey Russell? I get them confused. They're both so witty.
You're right, Grandma. I'm not fine. He really hurt me. I feel so alone.
Honey, you are not alone. You have your family with you. And your grandma and your mother and your father are going to see you through this.
Absolutely. In fact, I have a business appointment tonight, and I'm going to call right now and cancel it just so I can be here for you.
Daddy, I don't want you to do that. I'll be fine, really.
All right. But I'll only be gone for an hour.
Yeah. Less than half an hour if she doesn't want dinner.
Keep your chin up, princess. Your chin's too, Dorothy.
You know, I'm still a little confused. Now, who exactly is Ricky?
Lucy's husband.
I thought Desi was Lucy's husband.
Not on the show.
Desi wasn't on the show?
Desi played Ricky.
Who did Lucy play?
Lucy.
I know, but who did she play?
Lucy.
Right, but who did she play?
Lucy played Lucy.
Well, then why didn't Desi play Desi?
He wasn't tall enough.
I have never seen Kate so upset, and I am a wreck myself. I feel like this whole thing has happened to me. Like I'm the one who had my guts wrenched out and my heart stomped on. Thank you for all your support.
Oh, I'm sorry, Dorothy. It's just Lucy doesn't know that that's really Fred dressed up as a burglar.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize this was more important. Blanche, this is the part where my good friends are supposed to shut off the TV and run after me. So either shut off the TV or I'm going to hurl it through the window. Thank you. I'm touched.
How you holding up, Dorothy?
I just threatened to throw a TV through a plate glass window. That should give you some indication.
Kate seems to be handling things pretty well.
Yeah, that's tonight. She's still in shock. Oh, I remember when Stanley told me that he was having an affair. It was at least 24 hours before I cut the crotches out of all of his slacks.
You didn't.
Well, I was teaching English Lit at the time. Symbolism was my life.
I understand what you went through, Dorothy. I remember how I felt when I thought Charlie was cheating on me.
Charlie?
Well, we've been married for 18 years. And up until then, everything had seemed so perfect. And then one night it happened. He came home, had dinner, walked upstairs, and went to sleep. I went into the bathroom and cried my eyes out.
Rose, I don't want to encourage long stories, but it seems in this story you left out the
story.
That's the word.
Well, Charlie went right to sleep. We didn't, well, you know.
When he promised?
No. It's just that was the first time that had ever happened in 18 years of married life.
Get out of here.
You mean to say that every night, without fail, for 18 years, you and Charlie...
Yeah, of course. Right after dinner.
Well, no wonder you never heard of I Love Lucy.
Of course, as it turned out, I was just overreacting. I mean, it was a freak one-time thing. By the next morning, everything was back to normal.
You mean to tell me that every morning?
Charlie said that's why we didn't have headaches, and we both had really shiny hair.
Listen, Rose, no offense, but I find that story a little hard to believe. You don't even like to talk about sex.
Well, it's been my experience that people who talk about it a lot don't do it very often.
Coffee, anyone?
That must be Stan.
I'll get it.
Oh, Blanche. Blanche, why do they do it? Why do men do it and think they can get away with it?
Same reason the dog licks himself, Dorothy. Because he can.
Where's Stan?
That wasn't Stan at the door.
Oh, who was it?
Now, Dorothy, just stay calm. Just relax. Now, don't do anything you'll be sorry for.
Dennis.
Hello, Mother Dorothy.
I can't believe you'd show your face here after what you've done. Dennis, I think you should be leaving.
Mother Dorothy,
And
please.
do not call me Mother Dorothy. I hate it when you call me Mother Dorothy. I feel like I should be handing out rice on the streets of Calcutta.
Where is Kate?
Oh, she's not here.
She said she was coming here.
She left.
Where'd she go?
To meet with Gloria Steinem and Betty Friedan and Marlo Thomas. They're going to drink white wine spritzers and try to figure out how to fry your wandering male behind.
Dennis.
Kate, we have to talk.
She has nothing to say to you. Dennis, now get out.
Mom, you don't have to speak for me. Dennis, get out.
Kate, please. I know you don't owe it to me, and I'll leave if you really want me to, but I'm just asking for a minute to speak to you. Won't you just give me that?
Wonder how he's going to try and talk his way out of this one.
Doesn't matter. I know my daughter. No matter what he has to say, she'll see right through it.
Good for Kate. I think that bum deserves everything he gets.
You know, I'm glad he showed up. Now she can get it all over and done with.
Do you think she'll still have time to see Marlo Thomas? Because I'd sure like an autograph.
I can't stand it anymore.
I thought you said everybody loved Lucy.
She's talking about Kate and Dennis.
How long have they been in there?
Since Lucy went to Scotland.
That would make it over 30 years, Rose.
It's been about an hour, Dorothy, but don't worry, Kate had a lot to get off her chest.
You think he'd at least have the courtesy to say goodbye?
He's coming back, Mom.
What?
He's getting a suitcase out of the car. We talked things over. Everything's okay.
Okay. Everything's okay.
Come on, Rose.
But what about Lucy?
We'll watch it on the portable in the kitchen.
But that set's black and white.
Dennis explained everything.
Explained? Explained what? How he did it? I explained that to you when you were 12.
I can live with his apology. He's very sorry. He promised he'll never do it again. I don't want to end my marriage over this.
Well, I think you're making a big mistake, Kate.
Mom, Dennis is my husband, and if I can forgive him, then you should too.
Forgive him?
Look, it's my marriage. I never should have come here in the first place. That was a big mistake. We'll be out of here first thing in the morning.
Ma.
What's going on?
Honey, I'm sorry, but I have to talk to you. Dennis is here. He told Kate that he was sorry for what he did, and they've made up.
Marvelous. Now get the hell out of my room.
Ma, Dennis had an affair. What he did was terrible. How can she forgive him?
Dorothy, please, let me go back to sleep. I was in the middle of a dream where I was held captive on a desert island by Caesar Romero in a loincloth.
Ma, Kate and I had a fight. I have to talk to you.
Dorothy, you know that blue washcloth in my bathroom?
Yeah?
That's how big Caesar's loincloth was. Good night.
Ma. Ma.
All right. What did you and Kate have a fight about?
About advertising condoms on television. About Dennis. I mean, I can't believe that she would go back to him. I told her that it was a big mistake.
Who's asking you what you think? It's none of your business.
Kate came to me.
She came to you to listen, not tell her how to run her life. You should have stayed out of it.
I don't know what to do.
All right. All right. Sit. Listen. Learn. Picture this. Brooklyn, July, 1949.
Ma, can't you put a sentence together? You sound like a sportscaster.
Ah, shut up. Anyway, it was the night of your first anniversary. You showed up at my house at 2 o'clock in the morning, crying and carrying on. You looked like hell. You told me you had cooked an anniversary dinner for Stan. He came home late, he didn't have a gift, and there was lipstick on his shirt. He kept saying to me, Ma, what should I do? You remember what I told you?
Yeah.
Thank God. What was it? I forgot.
You said, if you could erase this one day, is this still the man you want to spend the rest of your life with?
And you said yes. And I thought to myself, idiot. But I kept my mouth shut. I knew this was a decision you had to make.
So you're saying that I should stay out of this mess between Kate and Dennis?
I said it. I used it in the story. What do you want me to do, embroider it on your underwear? Just stay out of it.
I don't know if I can do that.
Then you're gonna lose Kate. And someday Stan will be the one to call you up and tell you you have a grandchild who you're never gonna see.
Good night, Mom.
Not tonight, Cece. I'm not in the mood anymore.
That last episode of I Love Lucy was hilarious.
Oh, it sure was. I never realized you could have that much fun staying up all night.
Oh, not even with Charlie.
Oh, we never stayed up all night. Just 7 to midnight every night, and 5 to 7 every morning, and of course till noon on Sundays.
Good Lord, no wonder you still mourn that man.
Morning.
Hi, Dorothy, how you doing?
Much better. Ma and I had a long talk last night, and I think I know how I want to handle things.
Thank God. For once, you'll keep your mouth shut.
No. If I want things to be okay, I want to get everything off my chest.
Fine. You'll feel better, but mark my words, you'll lose your daughter.
Morning, everyone.
How'd you get in?
I used the key under the mat. Do I smell waffles?
No.
Could I smell waffles?
What does this look like, the house of pancakes?
So, how's Kate doing?
Better than I am. Dennis is here, and she's forgiven him.
Dennis is here? Somebody hold my hair. I'm gonna kill him.
Oh, sit down and shut up.
Good morning, everybody. Hi, Daddy.
Listen, Kate, I hear that you and Dennis are back together.
That's right. We're leaving for the airport now.
Kate, I want to say something.
Yeah?
No, not to you, to Dennis. Dennis, I want to speak with you.
Mother.
It's all right, Kate.
Is your name Dennis?
Hey, I want to be there. I have a right.
One sperm with a sense of direction, and I'm paying for it for the rest of my life. Come on.
Dorothy, I really want
Please,
to...
Dennis, I just want you to listen. Yesterday, Kate came to me crying. She was more hurt than I had ever seen her before.
Well, Dorothy,
Please, I want you to understand what that does to a parent. Seeing your child hurt is worse than any pain you can possibly feel yourself. When they're little, you protect them from the bullies on the playground, and later you suffer with them through acne and puppy love.
And the first date, and the first time alone in a car. Finally, they meet someone who will love them and take care of them, and they don't need you anymore. You're not too thrilled about that, but you get used to it.
And then something happens and you find out that there's still bullies on the playground. And all the old instincts come back. And that's what happened to me yesterday. I know you and Kate have made up, but I still have the same feelings. Do you understand?
Yes, I do. I did a very stupid thing, and it can't be undone. But I'm going to do everything I can to make it up to Kate. I love her. And I promise you that nothing like this will ever happen again.
Good. Because if it does, I will break every bone in your hand. You'll spend the rest of your life selling newspapers out of a wagon.
Keep it zipped, buddy. She's not kidding.
Dennis, is everything okay?
Everything is fine. Listen, you two better hurry. You're going to miss your plane.
Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Dad.
Listen, if you're not doing anything around Memorial Day, maybe you'll come down for a visit.
How about me?
Of course, Dennis. Of course. You're always included.
Dorothy, you're hurting me.
Bye again.
Bye, darling. Oh, Dorothy, I'm so glad things worked out.
Oh, me too.
Maybe you're not a grandmama yet, but you're still a darn good mama.
And Kate's going to be a darn good mama, too, sometime.
How do you know?
Because it runs in the family.
Well, I guess I'll be going too. You know, Dorothy, I don't know, Lanai out there, it was like old times. You and me, a team, united, partners. Felt pretty good, didn't it?
Sure did.
Where did it go wrong, Dorothy?
Oh, who knows? These things happen.
Oh, I remember.
Don't you just love waking up with rain tapping on your bedroom window?
Oh, absolutely. I always throw open the window, uncork a bottle of cold duck, and slip into my Fredericks of Hollywood ostrich feather nightie.
Just because of rain tapping at your window?
Oh, I thought she said Wayne. My mistake, sorry.
Ma, where are you going?
To the market.
Why are you going in the rain?
The market's in Miami. If it was in Phoenix, I'd be going in the sun.
Now, Sophia Rose asked a perfectly sensible question.
Am I the only one she caught by surprise?
Ma.
Rose, I'm going to buy a nectarine. I go to the market every day to buy a nectarine. At 82, that's life. A round trip on the number 6 bus to buy a nectarine.
That's so sad.
Not sad. Life, saddest when you have to mash the nectarine with a fork.
It's a shame Sophia has nothing constructive to do anymore. She needs something to make her feel more fulfilled.
Well, I'll tell you what would make her feel more fulfilled.
Blanche. A hobby. Oh, I thought you meant, a man.
You got a better hobby?
No, I don't think a hobby is the answer for Ma.
Well, what do you think is?
Ugh, I wish I knew. I mean, let's face it, life is as interesting as you make it. And at Ma's age, it's harder to make the effort. I don't know, I guess I should be grateful that she's at least able to get out, even if it is just to buy a nectarine.
Well, girls, since it's raining, we could tackle some of those jobs around the house we always talk about.
I'll change that bulb in the hallway.
I'll hold the ladder.
I meant something like rearranging the furniture in the living room, or cleaning out the garage, or relining the kitchen shelves.
Bingo!
Oh, bingo's fun on a rainy day.
She was talking about relining the shelves.
Well, that could be fun, too, if we divide into teams and grease our hands.
I got arrested for that once at a party in Chattanooga.
Oh, my goodness, look what I found. Double fudge cookies. I thought we agreed not to keep cookies in the house.
Right, after this last box.
You're not going to eat them, are you?
Oh, no, Rose. We're going to go to some dumb country and try to use them as money.
I thought we were going to divide up work.
That's right. Rose, make a fresh pot of coffee. Dorothy, get the plates. And I'll just tear into these suckers.
Hey, you got any decent nectarines?
There's nothing wrong with those nectarines.
Please, I got a bowl of waxed bananas that'll be right before these,
You're crazy. This nectarine is beautiful. I never saw a more perfect piece of fruit.
No? Then try kissing my behind. It's a real peach.
Sophia.
Nah, Caesar Chavez. I got hungry.
They're giving you a hard time, too.
Nah, I just can't pick out a decent nectarine. This way they do it for me.
Why don't you just ask for help?
Help? You know who helps old broads like us? Boy Scouts and cartoons. We gotta look after ourselves. They giving you any trouble?
I can't get a refund on this lamb chop. It looked fine in the case, but when I got it home, the bottom was all fat.
Come with me.
Sophia, please. I don't want to make trouble.
When's the last time you saw me make trouble?
Aisle 3.
Relax.
Sir,
Ma'am, I'm sorry, but I already told you I can't take it back. It's against store policy.
Are you willing to sign an affidavit to that effect?
What?
An affidavit. It's standard in any NOPRL investigation.
NOPRL.
The NOPRL, Network of Older People Retired But Living. Sophia Petrillo, past president and legal counsel. This store's in big trouble, mister. I got a better case than Valerie Harper.
Excuse me, ladies, pardon me. Is there a problem here?
Only if you consider a class action suit and a boycott by OREP a problem.
I thought it was NOPRL.
This is too big for NOPRL. This is all the way up to OREP.
OREP?
Organization of Retired and Elderly People. Sophia Petrillo, executive director and leader of the 87 March on Neiman Marcus.
Mrs. Petrillo, isn't there some way that we can resolve this matter?
I'm afraid not. The wheels of justice are already in motion. Of course, a full refund could put those wheels in reverse.
How much?
$1.17?
You got it. Here. Keep the change.
Thank you. We'll be in touch. Listen. How much for the nectarine?
Take it. It's on the house.
Oh, we can't do that. It's against the bylaws.
All right, you can pay me. That's 45 cents.
45 cents for one lousy nectarine? What's inside, a pit or a pearl? This is a 25-cent nectarine.
Fine. Sold.
Well, don't stand there like a bump on a pickle. Give the man a quarter.
So when the waiter brought my order, he set down a big bowl of gazpacho right in front of me, and I said, I ordered the consomme. And he said, a hot number like you needs something spicy. And I said, I'll give you something spicy. And I poured the gazpacho right down his pants.
So you never went out with him?
No. Just slept with him. He wasn't my type.
my goodness, Blanche, how could you?
Oh, come on, Rose. She's just teasing you.
That's right, honey. I'm just teasing. You always tease the one you love. Actually, tease and tickle. Actually, tease, tickle, and spank. Actually...
Blanche.
I'm sorry. What was I talking about?
About teasing me because you love me.
Oh, that's right. Well, it's true. Now, I learned that during my sorority years when I was dating Mr. Preston Bougainvillea. Lord, the teasing that boy put up with.
Because of his name.
No, because of his ears. He had these long, floppy ears. Kind of like a basset hound. When he came to pick me up for our blind date, I couldn't believe it. He jumped out of the car and he ran up the walk and bounded up onto the front porch. And I remember thinking, he's going to trip on those ears. But he didn't. So there he stood before me introducing himself, and I don't know, I was still so stunned, I just kind of half muttered a howdy-do. And he said, I beg your pardon, I didn't hear you. Well, I don't know what came over me, but I just blurted out, didn't hear me? I think you could pick up Radio Free Europe with those... And you know what he did? He laughed. Well, right then and there, I started growing very fond of Mr. Preston Bougainvillea. And over the next several months, we saw quite a lot of each other.
Oh, that's really very sweet, Blanche.
I know. By the way, did you girls know that the size of a man's ears is directly proportionate to the size of his other bodily organs?
He had a big floppy pancreas. Look, could we get back to lining the shelves?
I don't feel like it anymore.
Well, what do you want to do instead?
I know. Let's rent an adult video, drink mimosas, and French kiss the pillows.
I don't think so, Blanche.
Fine, I'm out of ideas. You think of something.
How about if we rearrange the furniture in the living room?
Don't you think we ought to wait till Sophia gets back home? Maybe she'd like to help, give her something to do.
Now, you know she's always exhausted when she gets back from the market. I mean, the first thing she does is go to take a nap before dinner.
Well, then we'll just do it right now. Come on.
Okay.
All right. Take 5. Even the seagulls stopped listening.
The rain kept our fans away.
Baloney. Every week we've been collecting, what, $20, $30 for the clinic? The last couple of weeks we're lucky if we break 10. And you know why? We're losing our edge. The excitement is gone. We're not driven like we used to be. Haven't we learned anything from the tragic examples of Mike Douglas and Ferdinand Marcos?
Come on, Sophia. You know, a little lunch might cheer you up.
You brought yours? Nah, this is a nectarine for later. I'm having the usual as soon as the sausage guy comes. So let's see, who's buying? Pulse or pressure? Pressure.
140/80.
130/80. 120/70. Your treat, Esther. And I'd stay away from the sausage if I were you.
Sophia, would you like to come to my art class today?
Did you talk Maury Shimowitz into posing naked yet?
We got him down to his trust.
I've seen his trust. It's impressive. The first time he showed it off, I thought he had a turkey platter in his pants. Besides, today's my day at the hospital.
You're not feeling good?
Please, I haven't felt good since Hugh Downs left the Today Show. That's got nothing to do with it. Hey, look. Okay, break's over. Let's pretend we know what we're doing and try to turn a buck. Come on, girls. Give it all you got. Remember the clinic and work hard. Remember your art and be proud. Remember an F sharp and blow. 1, 2, 1.
I guess we should get back to work.
Oh, I suppose so, but you know, a big meal always makes me so sleepy.
Is that why you usually go right to bed after a date buys you dinner? Who said that? You did. At the beauty parlor, don't you remember? And Agnes said you were a lot of hot air, and you said she was just jealous because she wasn't getting any? And I said, getting any what? And you said rice pudding, Rose? And I said...
Could we just get back to moving the furniture?
Well, the weather's cleared up. I really think we should save a big project like this for a rainy day.
Now, we agreed we weren't going to waste time. That'd be a big mistake, something we'd regret for the rest of our lives.
Rose, we're eating pizza, not getting tattoos.
I just hate the idea of wasting time. I always have, ever since what happened to my neighbor in St. Olaf.
Rose, are you about to educate us on the evils of wasting time by telling a long, tedious St. Olaf story?
Do you know a better way?
There's a point, Blanche.
It was back in 1955, and we had just moved into our first house right next door to Pigpen Johansson. That wasn't his real name. That was a nickname.
Pigpen.
No, Johansson. Anyway, Pigpen had just turned 80, and the town bylaws made him leave his job teaching driver's training at the high school.
On at 80, it was about time.
Well, it had nothing to do with his age. There was an old law on the books about driving with your shirt off.
I once got arrested for that in Chattanooga, too.
Blanche, let me ask you a question. Are you allowed to go back to Chattanooga?
Are you kidding? The sheriff still rides. Go on, Rose.
Anyway, without a job, Pigpen started feeling useless, so the town fathers thought they'd give him a new job, putting up the Welcome to St. Olaf sign out on Miller's Lane.
Rose, is there a point to this story?
Yes! That same year, on Founder's Day, the governor was coming. And Pigpen forgot to put up the sign. And the governor drove straight through town without ever realizing he was in St. Olaf.
I would have thought the glazed look on everyone's face would have tipped him off.
So the point is, Pigpen ruined Founder's Day all because he was wasting time.
That's right, and the town fathers took down his picture. It had always hung in the St. Olaf auto shop, right next to Andy Granatelli. My mother used to date him. You know what he has under that trench coat?
A wrench?
That's what Mother called it. Anyway, Mother was having trouble with her transmission, and Andy was in...
It's after 1 o'clock. You're late.
So dock me.
You do this for free.
Then be grateful. Anything happening?
Yeah, we got 3 in surgery, 2 in x-ray, and you have to deliver these on your break.
In your dreams. I'm a sunshine lady, not a teamster. Now get the hell out of here and let me do my work.
Oh, one more thing. Your boyfriend was looking for you.
Sam? He wheeled himself out here just to see me?
Yeah. I don't get it. He must see a side of you that's hidden from the rest of the world. Like the dark side of the moon.
You're just jealous because you know you can never have me. What's the matter? You don't watch General Hospital? This place is a passion pit.
Any flowers for me today?
No.
Are you sure? The name's Leonard.
I know your name. You ask me every day if I have flowers for you, and the answer is always no. Oh, wait a minute. I made a mistake. There are flowers for you today.
Really? Which one?
All of them. And the balloons, too. There's no one here to deliver them right now, so you leave your walker here and just wheel these to your room.
Oh, thank you.
No, thank you.
Hi, Sophia.
Sam, how are you doing?
I'm feeling real good today.
I know, your strength's coming back. You wheeled yourself all the way down the hall.
Excuse me, I'd like to check on my husband, Mr. Karp. Prostate surgery?
Nothing yet, but he'll be fine. I went through it myself 20 years ago.
You had prostate surgery?
What, do I look like a cross-dresser? My husband had the surgery. I was the one who went through it. So tell me, Sam, what's new?
So anyway, Lars froze solid right in the middle of the lake. And the town fathers mistook him for Max Brinkert, the inventor of herring crispies. Which, by the way, go great with borscht. But what doesn't?
Cake's done. 45 minutes.
Gee, I wonder why Ma isn't back from the market yet.
Oh, she probably stopped to rest on a bench, poor thing.
Oh, honey, her problem is not physical. She could do a lot more if she wanted to.
You mean she has the energy, just not the desire?
Exactly. You know, her mother lived to be 94 and was active right up until the very end. I remember when Grandma was in a wheelchair, she was on the go from morning till night. But she always had time to talk to her grandchildren. Gee, if I close my eyes, I can hear her saying, "Come on, you snot-nosed little rugrats. Pick up those jacks. They're puncturing holes in my tires." But the most amazing thing about Grandma was that in 1952, she decided to go into politics.
Politics?
Uh-huh. She felt it was her personal responsibility to elect Adlai Stevenson president. Well, she didn't care for Eisenhower because, you know, he claimed to have liberated Italy, and she said Italy was liberated enough. Already too many people eating meat on Friday and wearing condoms on Saturday.
Whatever happened to her?
She colonized life on Venus. Rose, she was 94 when I was 6. She died, you idiot.
How did she die?
You know, we're not sure. One night, she left in her wheelchair and she never came back. The next day, the neighborhood kids had a go-kart with 2 really big fat
people. Dorothy, why don't you just remind Sophia how active her mama was?
Oh, honey, Ma never saw that. I mean, to Grandma, it was no big deal. She was just doing what she'd done all her life, so she never even discussed it. And to Ma, well, all she saw was the woman she loved growing old and wrinkled in a wheelchair.
Just goes to show how different one generation can be from another.
Absolutely.
I'll see.
Well, what y'all want to do now?
Well, we aren't going to waste this day. We have to do something constructive.
Jeopardy is on in 15 minutes.
Sounds good to me. Let's go. I'll just slice up this cake and bring it in.
Sophia, don't you have to go back to work?
Please, I don't perform brain surgery. I give people directions to the cafeteria. If I like them, I give them the wrong directions. Have any visitors today?
Mom and Dad were by this morning. They brought comic books.
I never let my boy Phil read comic books. Of course, when he was 16, we shared an underwear drawer.
Did you bring me anything today?
Don't I always?
I thought maybe you forgot.
I never forget.
But I hate nectarines.
You have to eat.
Sophia, it doesn't matter. You know that.
Crazy talk. Comes from not eating enough fresh fruit. Here.
Sophia, once they goofed up my blood with that transfusion, there wasn't anything anyone could do. No one's ever beat it, Sophia.
But someday they will, and it could be tomorrow, and it could be you. I believe that, and you're going to believe that. Because right now, today, that's all we got. Hope.
And a nectarine.
And a nectarine.
You know, it's a shame we didn't accomplish anything today.
Of course we did. We found out in a pinch fruit cocktail is not bad on a bagel. Oh, hi, Ma.
Well, hello there.
You guys ready for bed already?
Yeah, I guess we are.
We're very tired.
Yeah, we took care of a lot of odds and ends around the house today. What did you do, Ma?
What did I do today? What I do every day. I bought a nectarine.
Check.
Check. I'll open for a quarter.
I'm in.
I'll see your quarter, and I'll raise you a quarter. By the way, Rose, your shoe is untied.
I'm too smart for you, Sophia. You're not going to distract me this time. Besides, I'm wearing pumps.
Your pump is untied.
Thanks.
Look, Mr. Feinbaum's totally naked in his bedroom window.
That is the third time we caught you cheating. Ma, you're out of the game.
Hey, give me a break. When you're 80, you're allowed to cheat, just like you're allowed to take money out of your daughter's purse. Whoops. Was that the phone? Don't trouble yourselves. I'll get it.
How did you know your mother was cheating, Dorothy?
Because Mr. Feinbaum never walks around totally naked. He always wears a Boy Scout neckerchief. But never in the same place twice. Which is why there's no Mrs. Feinbaum, dear.
Oh! Did you see that, Dorothy? There was a UFO.
Oh, Rose, don't be ridiculous. It was a plane. Deal. Come on.
Planes don't fly over residential neighborhoods.
Neither do UFOs. They only fly over empty fields in Kentucky, where fat guys in overalls named Cooley have just run out of gas.
I think we ought to call the authorities.
Rose, there is no such thing as a UFO.
They were probably looking for someone to bring up to the ship.
Fine. Now you stay out here. Flag them down if they fly by again. I'll go inside and pack a bag.
But I want to be the one to go.
Whose bag do you think I'm going to pack?
That's a Sicily you don't see on postcards.
Rose, what are you doing?
I'm trying to lure that UFO back with a flashlight and a pie pan. I read an article once in the St. Olaf Time that says this is the best way to do it.
What's the St. Olaf time?
Well, it's 7:15 here. You subtract an hour.
Forget it. Now look, all this nonsense has to stop, Rose. What we saw was not a UFO.
Well, it wasn't a plane. Planes aren't that thin or that bright.
Neither is Oprah Winfrey, but that doesn't make her a flying saucer.
The point is, nobody knows what we saw. You don't. I don't. Not even Major Barker does.
Major Barker?
Yeah, that's the man I spoke to today down at the military base. I told him what we saw, and he said they'd check into it.
Rose, how could you do that? Don't you know what's going to happen? This is going to end up in all the tabloids. I can see it now, right next to Woman Gives Birth to Doc Severinsen look-alike. Dorothy Zbornak meets spacemen.
Why do you get all the credit?
Girls, look. How do I look?
Oh, great, Blanche.
Great or gorgeous?
Gorgeous.
Well, what about sexy?
Yes.
Enticing?
I'll handle this. Blanche, no woman ever looked better than you look right now, and no one ever will.
Thank you, Dorothy. Honestly, Rose, sometimes it's like pulling teeth to get a little compliment out of you. There's the bell. That must be Ham at the door. Come on, come on. Sophia, wait a minute.
Blanche, will you calm down? I have never seen you so worked up over one date.
Dorothy, I let this gorgeous man slip through my fingers once before. I don't intend to let it happen again.
You couldn't slip through your fingers now if you used a shoehorn.
Oh, my God.
Blanche?
Ham? Ham marshmallow. Just look at you.
What else can we look at? The man's covering half the pictures on our wall.
I don't blame you for looking surprised, Blanche. There's a little more of me than there used to be.
Well, maybe a little here, a little there.
I'm Dorothy. How do you do?
How do you do?
This is my mother, Sophia. That's Rose.
Hello.
How do you do?
So, what exactly is ham short for, Ham?
My guess would be ham and potatoes.
Well, we better be running along. We don't want to be late.
So I'm sure you'll have a wonderful, wonderful evening.
It was very nice meeting all of you.
Same here. I hope we get to see more of you.
Don't even bother.
Bye.
Boy, he sure looks different from his picture.
You know, sometimes people can lose their looks.
Not in Sicily. In Sicily, if you're born beautiful, you stay beautiful. The whole town sees to it. They check up on you, they encourage you, they never let you slip. That's why we were so happy when Dorothy was born.
Oh, Ma.
Who needed all those people bothering us all the time?
I'm going back outside, Dorothy.
Fine, Rose.
Is Rose Nyland in?
Yes, please come in. Please come in. You must be the man that Rose spoke to, Major Barker.
That's correct.
Please sit down. Listen, before I get Rose, let me assure you she is the only one here who thinks she saw a UFO.
No, I understand completely, Miss Bornak. By the way, is that Ms. Bornak or Mrs.? I'm hoping it's Ms.
Well, yes. Yes, as a matter of fact, it is.
Good. I've already got that box checked on this form. Now, in this case, we've done most of the research at the base, so I just have a couple of routine questions to follow up. Question number one, was the object you saw more triangular or cylindrical?
No, triangular.
Was it blue in color?
Yes.
Did it leave a faint trail of yellow exhaust?
Yes, it did.
Very good. Ms. Bornak, there's a perfectly simple explanation for what you saw.
Well, I always knew there would be.
What you and Rose Nyland saw was a UFO.
You always did know how to make me laugh.
It was nice to know I haven't lost it, all of it.
Oh, now don't you talk like that. You haven't lost a thing. Why, the way you can tell a story, the way you twirled me around that dance floor, you'd think it was 30 years ago.
Oh, gosh, look at the time. I better go.
Oh, baloney. It's late now. In 10 minutes, it'll still be late. You just sit yourself down right there. Go on. That boy.
Had a nice time tonight, Blanche.
You know, I did too.
And I wasn't sure I would, if you want the truth.
What?
Well, this may sound funny, but I kept thinking, here I am, you know, so bald and so heavy, and what if I show up and Blanche looks just as pretty as she did 30 years ago?
But I don't.
No, you don't.
What?
You look prettier.
Oh.
No, I mean it. I mean it.
Oh.
The face and the figure and that smile. Oh, it's all gotten better. Unless it's just my age making me want to see those things.
No.
I'm glad I looked you up, Blanche. I haven't had this much fun in a long time. Well, I guess I better be getting back to the hotel.
Oh, honey, are you sure you have to?
Blanche, are you asking me what I think you're asking me?
Think you might like some company tonight?
Maybe some other time, Blanche.
What are you doing, Dorothy?
Oh, looking at the stars, pondering the universe.
I've been doing the same thing, thinking how wonderful it would be if there really were aliens. Maybe it'd be just like Cocoon, and they'd take us away, and we'd never grow old.
See, I don't know. I like my life. I mean, I'm not president or anything. I'm just a teacher. A substitute teacher. A divorced substitute teacher who can't even afford her own place to live. Beam me up!
Beam me up, Dorothy, you believe?
Rose, they checked out what we saw, and it actually was a UFO.
Dorothy, where are you going? We might miss the aliens.
That would be fine with me.
Dorothy, why are you talking that way? I think it's wonderful that there are other beings out there trying to meet us. They might have solutions to all our problems. Cures for our diseases. New storylines for Elf.
They might also have tentacles on their legs so that they can suck all the blood out of our heads. Oh, I'm sorry, Rose. I'm sorry. Now, part of me is very excited, but part of me is petrified. I cannot relax with this. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to because Major Barker does not want us to say a word about this to anyone until we hear from him again. Not a word. Is that understood?
Yes. I thought I heard voices in here. What you girls doing?
Oh, nothing. We're just sitting talking. Not talking about anything special. The subject of aliens never came up.
Well, I can give you something to talk about. My date tonight, which turned out to be the most humiliating evening I've ever spent in my entire life.
So, what are we talking about? Blanche's date.
He turned me down again. I'm just devastated.
Oh, come on now, Blanche. You said yourself you didn't find him that attractive anymore.
That's not the point, Dorothy. The point is to Blanche Devereaux, sexuality and attractiveness are two very important things. They are Blanche Devereaux. It just tortures me to know that there's one man out there, one on the face of God's green earth that I cannot have. Especially if he's fat and bald.
Blanche, forget about it.
I can't forget about it. There's only one thing for me to do. I'm going to call him up. And tomorrow night, I'm going out with that man again. And I don't care what amount of seducing it takes. But as God is my witness, I am not returning to this house until he has begged, beseeched, and pleaded with me to go to bed with him.
You know, that was the original ending to Gone with the Wind.
Oh, that was a terrific meal, Blanche. Thanks again.
Well, you're welcome, Ham. I just figured you deserved it before going back to that high-tension, dog-eat-dog pressure pit you work in.
Blanche, I run a miniature golf course.
Your champagne, Miss Devereaux?
Oh, thank you, Walter. Sure. You will forgive me if this champagne has a little effect on me, Ham. Sometimes just having it sitting on the table sets my heart to racing. Oh, feel. Lower. No, it's like there's some kind of wild animal energy in there. Pounding, burning, yearning, and lusting, just crying out to be released. I've never said this to another man, Ham, but I feel a heat between us, kind of a flame crackling and hissing. I want you to put that flame out, Ham. I want you to pluck me like a fruit and wash me off in your kisses and sink your teeth into my ripe, juicy flesh. Let me make you happy, Ham. All I need to know is that you want me as much as I want you.
Maybe some other time, Blanche.
That does it. I will not let you humiliate me any longer. You may not want me, Ham Lushbow, but I can promise you somewhere on this planet I will damn sure find some man who does.
Exhausted, I'm going to bed. You coming, Ma?
In a minute. I gotta finish this article. I love these military guys. First, they fly this top-secret bomber jet way off course. Next, they start denying it ever happened. Like nobody ever saw it flying over downtown Miami.
Rose.
Hi, Dorothy.
Rose, there's something we have to talk about. There was an article in today's paper.
The one about the UFO being a secret bomber?
I'm sorry, Rose.
Sorry for what? Just because that one bomber wasn't a UFO doesn't mean we should stop watching for others. Does it? Oh. Well, I guess there isn't much point in sitting out here anymore, is there?
Oh, I don't know, Rose. Such a nice night. Let's stay a while.
Okay. You know something, Dorothy? You don't have to tell me this if you don't want to. But underneath it all, you believe in them, don't you? You did from the very beginning. Oh, I'm glad. It's more fun. It's like with Santa Claus. The best Christmas we ever had was when all 8 of my brothers